So we back, and we're gonna continue this video from the previous video. So pretty much it's me catching up, giving you an update on all the ABBA and Preach defenders, and basically showing you that a lot of them are mischaracterizing a lot of things, and you show how many defenders these fucking people had, and ABBA and Preach had, and then little bit by little bit these guys are showing as frauds, and most of them, and that's up to anybody else. People should stop listening to them because they're never going to be fair with two sides, right? So we're going to continue this video where it's Sarah is basically pretty much cutting and slicing and dicing ABBA to what he did and other things he did and expose them better than your girl Messi Machon.
Example of this during his second stream, okay, his second damage control stream. And ABBA and Preach fans, I know you guys are a little slow, okay, not all, okay, there are some that see through the nonsense, but they still like the content. Shout out to y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. If it don't apply, let it fly. But the stands out there that are willfully stupid about this, understand, I am only talking about in this particular moment, okay, I gotta spell it out for y'all. I am only talking about in this particular moment when he released those images of their sexting conversation. That is what I'm referring to. So don't try to apply this to other areas. I'm talking specifically about this incident. And I'm going to show the receipts here too. I'm not going to just say it. I'm going to show it so you guys can see. I know you guys are still going to be deaf, dumb, and blind. You're going to close your ears and your eyes and while I'm showing the receipts, and then you'll run to the comment section. I don't see any receipts. I don't see any receipts, even though they're clearly on the screen. But that's neither here nor there. We know y'all slow. During that live stream, he prefaced showing those sexting conversations by saying, "Oh, you got out here and you talked about my sex life. You talked about what I like to do in the bedroom.
Now you're over here talking about my personal. Does ABBA like getting pegged? Actually, no, he never did that. Like, why are you talking about my sex life? You want to talk about it? We can talk about it." This girl's confused. She's got a Christian complex, and it turns out in bed she's a giant hedonist and a freak weirdo, okay? Now me, my partner likes weird shit, I don't mind.
And mind you, a lot of these progressives hate Christianity. They hate any religion that holds them to a standard. So their whole goal is to try to like shit on any kind of anybody who's religious or not, right?
Why? Because as long as it's within the boundaries of what's okay to me, I'll do that for her. I'm a pretty vanilla guy on the day, but not this girl. No, she want to talk about it, all right?
She did that.
You know, she want to lick stuff off glass. That's okay.
I mean, she did that, so.
And look at this monkey ass fool. Oh yeah, she did that. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Right, she's like some good Christian girl who pretends like, oh, I'm such a petite, like whatever. This girl likes a dog collar on her neck and she likes to be walked around like a dog. I'm gonna put.
And I remember a few days ago when they was calling her Wolf Wolf because of ABBA, and it shows me how fucking no matter how old they are, and no matter how, it's like a lot of people want to. I'm starting to believe most people don't want free will because they don't act like it, right? I can understand if you're a fan of somebody or if you are a supporter of someone. But if you're in some kind of mental relation, you're in some kind of bullshit, and you can be influenced by somebody, right? Because I do my quotes and all that shit. But when somebody makes something up and you don't clearly think long and hard, is this bad and is good, and then you go and then say woof woof to the girl because she likes a dog collar, and then I break it down and ask him, I said, if Fresh said some shit like this about a girl, would you sit back and basically repeat what he said? And a lot of them was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Business out there. You know what I'm saying? You want to put my business out there? We can do that. Right? She was worried. She was worried that she's more freaky than me. I don't mind. Little Asian girl, I'm so quiet. The dog collar, okay? That's what she's into.
I went back to that live stream and I watched the entire 5 hours, y'all.
And this is the thing. And anybody, you don't have to watch a whole live stream. I'm sorry, you don't. Sometimes I just don't. I just can't watch no 5-hour live stream. But you can skip and do transcripts. When you do transcripts, that's the key. The key is transcripts. The key is fast forwarding it. When something takes too long, when a question is being asked again, the key points in any kind of interview, and you target it. So you could have just cut it down to an hour, at least an hour or two, and got that out the way. Especially with his shit, you could have got that out the way, or you could have asked somebody to see if she said that, and somebody else would have did it.
I had it on 1.25 speed so that I wouldn't miss anything, but it would go a little bit faster because ain't nobody got time to be sitting there for 5 damn hours. I listened to the entire conversation, and I was waiting for that moment where she revealed something sexual about ABBA. Now, what you'll find during that live stream is that, one, she said there are some things that I just don't want to talk about because they're...
And mind you, before I keep the video going, she protect ABBA. Her whole goal, and people didn't understand, her whole goal was to basically blast him for the shit that he said online. She is the wonderful, crazy Asian that exposed. And the thing is about this, your old Shadu Jacksons and shit, and about saying, is the fact is that all of the wrong shit that goes in the quote unquote black community, we never get shit done because nobody want to expose it to nobody. Right? And the other women of other cultures, they expose it because they want motherfuckers to either change, apologize, or treat them a little bit different, or come to them with a little bit more respect. If you trying to get some cheeks, and you be like, yeah, I'm gonna get some cheeks. And that's right. They don't like, a lot of other groups of people don't like these games. They don't want to play these games. So she was protecting this guy the whole time, and he went off.
Too personal to ABBA.
And then you said that he doesn't keep his household like you keep your household. That's really interesting to me. Tell us about that.
His home. Well, he had moved. Okay, remember when we had talked earlier and you said there are things that, like, if I didn't want to talk about it, I said I can skip this question. The lifestyle thing is probably what I don't want to talk about. They're really personal, and I don't want to paint him in that light, because it was, when we had talked about it, it was very personal to him too, and so I can talk about the other stuff which I've talked about.
This is what Missy Michonne didn't show y'all guys. She didn't want to talk about certain things with him. She wanted to protect him. She just wanted to pull out the image that this nigga was pretending that he was something that he wasn't. That's it. And he the one who was throwing flames on her. These women were hurt because they felt they liked the fucking male feminist, the bullshitter that he was putting himself out to be. He's anti-red pill. He's non-misogynist. All the same, he was the most misogynist, mentally ill motherfucker. Remember, he threw Destiny under the bus for doing the same thing he's doing now.
But that, I think, is too touchy. And I know I've already come out there with that, but I think this would really be a betrayal, even though I know what I'm doing right now, to him. I don't want to go into that.
Is that what he said in his cope stream? That she was not trying to tell us? No, he told y'all that she was just happy to talk about all his personal details. You're over here talking about my personal details. But he's not going to tell you that she actively told Saint the Sinner, I don't want to talk about certain things because that's way too personal. That has nothing to do with any of this. I'm not trying to tell you that business. But he told y'all that that's not what happened. He gave you the narrative that she was just out here flapping her yapping gums about every little...
And that's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing for the long time. That's what he's been doing. He did it with Stevie. He did it with Fresh and Fit. He did it with everybody. He takes a lot of clip shit, and then take it out of context, and everybody runs with it. All of these fucking ABBA and Preach defenders, they all do this bullshit. They all do it. They all do this shit. They all dishonest. The Britney Venties, all these anti-red pill motherfuckers are so fucking dishonest to the point where it's like, you're a fucking liar. That's all you niggas do is lie. What's going on? Y'all can't tell the truth. Y'all can't do. Is it that hard to make an anti-red pill movement, which you not insulting the red pill, but you showing the red pill to be wrong in real life? Bringing on couples, bringing on people dating, doing the dating that you want them to do. You bring somebody on that somehow is a loser and a weirdo or whatever, and then you give him a makeover and see if he can find dates. But I bet you won't do that. Why? Because your concepts have failed, and a lot of you don't want to admit that you would be wrong. A lot of you don't want to admit that you would be wrong about the dating scene. You will be wrong about a lot of different things. And then when you fail, everybody be like, well, the red pill was right. Like, you wasted all that time to just prove red pill was right. Just like Larry Wills. Just like all these other people.
Thing that has nothing to do about this situation, but just everything to do about Abba, which is sharing all his personal details. Oh, you're gonna talk about what I like in the bedroom? But this is what she actually said.
In the case of Abba, he did a public interview and he said that he likes to be milked. And my understanding, and I'm a very vanilla, simple person, so I don't know entirely what all these the terms mean, but it sounded like, if I understand correctly, he had wanted the woman to go up his backside or something like that.
I don't know.
Were you aware of that?
I did not hear about that before I dated him. And I just heard it as being milked, and I didn't know about it.
And this also shows that O'Shea is a piece of shit too, because he didn't talk about that. Like, when women come out about guys, right, especially the other races of women, some of them are malicious, but some of them actually loved and cared about the dudes. The dudes was playing these games with the girls. I ain't saying all of them, but there's a lot of chicks who actually like, yeah, I want to stick with this dude, and the dude's playing games. So they come out. In the black community, it's just games. And then dudes like O'Shea will cover that shit up and don't talk about it. And then the same girl who did this to this one guy, she do it to another guy, then another guy, then another guy, then another guy, then another guy. And then it's somehow, oh, they're all, the black queens are good. But now people know that if they get along, if they get with a Libby, or if somebody ever get with her, they know to not make her mad. End it peaceably, and then walk away.
Until like afterwards.
Oh, until after the breakup, you heard that he was
until like after like the relationship started and everything like that. And I mean, to be honest, I just tried not to judge, and that was it.
Okay.
I mean,
so
I didn't look too much into it, and then I just hear people like making fun of it, and then I'm just trying to not to judge.
Okay. So,
and she protected him too. You know why? Because she didn't go to Fresh and Fit. She didn't go on Fresh and Fit. She didn't fly to Fresh and Fit, and she didn't do an interview. She still protected him. She just teamed up with all the other girls. But none of them went to Fresh and Fit. And that shows you exactly what they were doing. They were trying to be better than him, while he didn't do that shit with Daisy.
So does that mean that you could be with a guy who does that, or you could not? Because I presume that you didn't say that was a relationship ender.
I don't think... so I don't really know what milking is. I think it's talking about like being... From what I understand when I saw it, is like people, when they're milked, they're like being pegged, right? That's what. That's how you are.
That's what I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even know, because I'm from LA and we don't really do all that stuff. Like, I don't know if Canada is hitting different, but if somebody in the chat can send me a link and a timestamp, because I am curious. But we can carry on with that. But based on your understanding that you currently have of it, that's not a relationship ender.
I didn't think it was that, because the way he described it in like one of his interviews when I saw it was like, which is more forgiving than being pegged. I don't think I can be with someone who's like being pegged, but it was just like more like can I say it's like a girl, like more like just like playing with that area, but not like actually pegging. Yeah, that it can still, but not pegging, not any like penetration in that area or anything like that. My understanding is just like stimulating that area, but like anything in there, I think that's the way he described it in an interview. I was like, that was, it didn't seem, I don't know.
Okay. It wasn't too much of a violation for you.
Yeah, I think like being, like any penetration there would have probably definitely bothered me, or definitely been a deal breaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, because I was like, people aren't going to say everything on camera. I was like, maybe bro was like, I'm going to just let this out on camera and I'm going to hold in the rest.
And she, unlike Messy Michonne, she's playing the whole thing. She's not being fucking dishonest. She's playing the whole thing. And she's showing that, yeah, he lying. He lying. He lied the whole time. And the fucking dumb fans went along with what he said. Then he had to take shit down and put it behind a paywall.
See how people...
Also, they said he clipped a lot of things out too. After that, he clipped all the shit. He thought that he can sue them, even though he doxed her. He doxed her name. He doxed her work. He sent all these fucking fans, and they don't understand. All the people that was calling to work, they probably doing an international thing right now. Mind you, you know who's in office, Trump. So he's gonna make it clear that you two Canadian, you motherfucking Canadian motherfuckers, you don't do this shit to our country. And he lucky that they're not an actual target, because Canada will probably throw the motherfuckers under the bus.
React to that, but yeah, that was crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
And that was something I heard. Yeah, and he's very liberal like that. I've never done anything like that with him. So, and I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing that particularly, but like, yeah, he's never asked me to do anything like that.
Now, if you guys don't remember, ABBA went on a podcast and offered this information himself about being milked, okay? He went on Shambooty, say Shamboo Dram, I think that's her name. He went on her podcast and he openly talked about getting milked. He described what that behavior was. So that by itself, you can't be mad at her for saying anything about that or answering any questions about that, because this was information you offered publicly years prior.
You had a prostate orgasm.
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, I'm open-minded.
You've had a prostate orgasm?
Now, mind you, you got to give credit to Fresh and Fit, because Fresh, Fresh. Myron said when they started coming at us, we found all these different tapes and all these different shits about them and videos that they took down, but we saved them, and they kept posting them. The shit with fucking Preach in a dress and doing all this sus shit. ABBA in this clip right here. And it's like, dude, y'all making so many videos, but you don't even understand that your enemy already have a whole bunch of shit that you took down. And y'all already made a big deal out of the whole thing of, oh yeah, guys, we don't want to get copyright strike. But then I found out some new shit is that they went after Pearl and tried to copyright strike Pearl after they talked about Fresh and Fit, copyright striking them.
Tell me more about it.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm going to be honest with you, even though, it was intense.
It wasn't another level?
To me, it wasn't more intense than the level 2 I get from a really good blowjob.
Were you milked? How did it happen?
I mean, so... All right, I'll never talk about this in detail. I'm feeling naked right now. Essentially, you just...
What is the position?
Get on your knees, arch it, pause, arch it, and then, she's behind the like a cow. She's milking that and she's doing her thing.
And also, even with that, she defended you. Because we all know the narrative that's been out there about ABBA is that he likes Backdoria. That is what everyone has been alleging, that he likes Backdoria because of that clip of him talking about getting milked. She got out there and said, no booty stuff. That's it. What would you have preferred her to do, ABBA? not say anything and let Saint the Sinner allude to you liking backdooria behaviors, backdooria activities? Would that have been the preferred response? Because if she had did that, right? If she had just said, look, I'm not going to confirm or deny. If she had said that, then y'all would have been flaming her for not saying that you don't like backdooria. So like, what are we talking about here? You're going to get on here and use this instance of her not harming your image, of her actually protecting you in that way by saying, no, I'm not going to talk about these details. No, he does not like backdoors. We never did any backdoor stuff. I've never pegged him. I've never done that. Why are you asserting that? She's dispelling that claim because we already know that that's a narrative that's out there. And you're going to use that moment because you know your fans are not going to go back and watch that 5-hour stream. You know that your fans aren't going to do that. You're going to use that moment to show sex text messages from her where she's divulging something that's personal and private to her. Do y'all see how wicked and disgusting that is? He weaponized the fact that y'all don't go back and actually look at receipts. You trust him. He weaponized that trust so that he can then expose sex text messages about his ex because he felt some type of way, because he's angry, because he can't cope with the fact that his demons are coming to light. Now, I do want to address this audio that was released from the second woman. Now, after to get back to masterful. I have to say it was masterful, but it was also very freaking vile. What I want you guys to really understand is that no matter who a person say that he wears a retainer, and that could be the reason why the audio doesn't sound exactly like ABBA, I'm just going to leave room open for the possibility that that is not ABBA. Now, if he does come out and confirm that that was him, confirm that he did get her pregnant, then this just looks even grimier. As much as he went out there and talked about other people dipping their...
This is the thing about that, right? If that shit was fake, he would have never went and doxed her. See, a lot of dudes go to the over the limit when a chick is telling the truth about them, especially him. Yeah, he's not as calculating as you niggas think he is. He hid behind the good guy shit because he learned that shit from Destiny, right?
Their bare kibbles and bits into other broads and getting them pregnant. He didn't want y'all to know that he was out there doing the exact same thing. This man is a master in public image. Like, he knows exactly how to portray that character of himself. And I mean, shout out to him. He should have went into acting. My guy, you were in the wrong field. You should be up there acting in some movies, some Tubi films. Like go do that. My guy, you're primed and ready for being an actor because the way you have fooled your audience with this image of yourself that does not seem to be true, it was masterful. I have to say, it was masterful, but it was also very freaking vile. What I want you guys to really understand is that no matter...
And you see how creepy this nigga look like that creepy ass, and nobody called that nigga out on this shit, right? And I knew that something was wrong with them when the fact is he didn't like the fact that white girls was showing their appreciation for black American men. He hated that. He hated the fact that black American men was getting love, but they're not talking about Canadian men. Mind you, he both him and other preach had this kind of hate for black American men. But we ain't gonna talk about that one.
Who a person is. If they present themselves as one thing and you see behaviors that are contradictory to that while they're out there wagging the finger at everybody else, understand that is a vile hypocrite. Because look, we all have our own hypocrisies, right? I'm sure there are things that I'm hypocritical about. Maybe one day I'll become aware of them and I can correct it. We all have our own little moments of hypocrisy, but the problem arises when you go out and you actively wag the finger at other people for the very same hypocritical behavior that you are engaging in, actively engaging in. I'm going to tell you guys what it sounds like. This is not confirmed, but I'm going to tell you what it sounds like. It sounds as though this fool is going around telling women that he can't get them pregnant in order to screw Raw. That's what it sounds like. Hopefully that's not the case, because if so, that's really disgusting. And that type of behavior, to be honest, is prevalent with more liberal men, the ones that try to pretend like they're so feminist and they're so this and they're so that. And I know Abba likes to toe the line between pro-feminism and then also red pillish. He likes to be right there in the middle so that he can, get support from either side of the aisle. So If this man is going around and constantly telling women that he can't get them pregnant in order to screw them raw, one, those bras are dumb. Okay, I'm not gonna say that they're not stupid. Bitch, you're stupid. If he has a peen, that's it. Put a condom on that thing if you are not trying to get pregnant. Period, point blank, end of the conversation. Stop being stupid. But also, you're vile for doing so. So all the little stands that are gonna come in the comment section, well the woman, they shouldn't have let him do that. Okay, I feel you, but he also should not be lying to people because lying is not a good thing. Misleading is not a good thing. So regardless of how stupid they are, when do we start giving people passes for scamming folks, for mistreating folks, because the other folks should know better? No, we don't do that. We tell the other people like, hey, get a clue. But then we also hold the vile individuals who try to get over on people to get what they want. We hold them accountable because that behavior is still unbecoming. It still is. Because either way you slice it, you should not be moving like that. If that's true, that he is going around telling women that he can't get them pregnant in order to get them in bed raw, that is a vile, sick, disgusting individual. And it's even worse than I thought. Because I was willing to chop it up to he's just dumb, right? He heard low sperm count and thought no sperm count. He's just stupid, okay? Short bus shouty, dumbass. But if this is the case, because let me just say this, because the timeline, it seems like this. The Swiss woman got pregnant prior, first one, Swiss woman. Then Libby, okay, and this is after him figuring out that he has low sperm count, so to speak. And then this third woman, if that is confirmed that he also got her pregnant, I believe this is after Libby. So after you've already gotten somebody pregnant with this so-called diagnosis of having a low sperm count, you got somebody else pregnant after going through that situation, then I'm sorry. It leads to the conclusion that you go around telling women these things or they will dismiss. Earth deserves accountability, not the illusion of accountability, because that's what Abba also does to manipulate.
Feel like your tooth sensitivity isn't severe enough?
There we go. That was a good video. She did the whole clip and everything else, and then she came back with more receipts. This is what I wanted more YouTubers to come out here and do, because I wasn't going to do this. Like, technically, I made about like $200 off of the Abba and Pre situation. That's that. Just that. And it's like, I ain't gonna put more into it. If I made more money off that, I probably would have put more into it. I probably would have found little things and edit stuff out and found all the videos and even timeline videos and basically put out like at least, from what I've seen, I have like a 4 hours of like shit that he said, and basically it was like woo, and I was like nah, and I just gave up. I was like nah, it's just taking up too much of my time
to deal with. What if I told you Sensodyne has a fast and simple remedy? New Sensodyne Clinical Repair starts to repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I'm so excited to introduce this new product to patients. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing.
In which Abba ultimately walked away from.
Understand words, you make stupid decisions. Low sperm count, be with you and y'all break up.
During those times, okay? But those were also arguments I never initiated, never really feel like I was deserving, and that she would push. I can't tell you, this is by far the worst betrayal anyone's ever done.
Now, mind you, that whole Red Pill dumbass song that he made, that even put more nail in the coffin, calling niggas gay and saying that Red Pill way and all this other dumb shit that these guys doing. And it's like, Fresh and Fit, Myron had better editing skills. They have a better music kind of talent with that. And they suppress it because they thought that Red Pill song was going to make some kind of big deal and be in the mainstream. That's what they wanted. And they don't have no talent. That whole shit was fucking crusty. But these Abba and Preach defenders push this shit.
To me. And I'll probably process that for a while, to be honest with you. But I was fucked up, not gonna lie.
You know what else fucks people up? You know, something that people have to process for an extended amount of time? Not having their father in their life. Yeah, that tends to fuck people up real bad. Especially when the dad leaves them with a crazy ass bitch or a mom.
But I will never visit the kid. The kid will never visit me. I'll never know who they are. He will never know me. I promise. Essentially, there's some allegations that I was like a deadbeat, or I didn't want to be part of, some kid, and I forced her to have an abortion, and it turned out that none of that was true. I will never visit the kid. The kid will never visit me. I'll never know who they are. He will never know me. I promise. You have decided that you were not going to pull out of her vagina, so you are not going to pull out of fatherhood.
But Sandra, this didn't actually have to happen because, she got the abortion, so it didn't even happen. Here's the problem. The problem is the mentality. The problem is you get on here and you talk all this stuff, and you wag the finger at other people. You say how they need to take care of their responsibilities, and even going as far as to say that you would pay for Daisy's legal fees to make sure that Walter was accountable for getting her pregnant. You will do all that, but then run away from your own responsibilities to your own seed.
If you end up having legal troubles and they sue you and whatever, if you name that kid after me, I'll pay for all your legal troubles.
There we go. We don't have to forget shit. That's why I said she stitched together that Ray greatly right there. This is what he said. When it came to Fresh's baby mom, but he couldn't do it to his own baby moms?
That's a promise. So if you need help financing a lawyer to fight off Fresh and Fit, man, you mean if Walter Jr. over there,
mind you, he was this arrogant piece of shit, but he couldn't fight off them Jubilee lawyers. Remember, I already exposed the whole Jubilee thing. Like, oh yeah, we got to fight in court. That's why they took down the Jubilee videos. They knew they couldn't win.
got the name Abba, I'll pay all them bills. I'll sleep. Hey, listen. As far as I'm concerned, I think you deserve every dime. Listen.
Also, they said that he tried to sleep with Daisy. Or he said Daisy tried to sleep with him. Daisy would have slept with him in order to get Fresh back. She didn't like him. And the funny thing is, nobody ever talked about that. Like, where she was willing to sleep with people in order to get Fresh, to get back into Fresh's good grace. And he was like, yeah, you're done. Don't ever talk to me again.
We don't know her last name.
Daisy. That's what we all call her, okay?
Imagine she names him Abba Preach Daisy.
I'm paying them legal fees. I will.
Yeah, see? Oh, it's all fun and games.
Double the video output on this channel to pay for little Abba Preach Daisy to get all that child support. Every dime.
Yeah, he loved that shit. He loved that shit.
That's a promise, Daisy. Just drop our names. Even if it's just middle names, I'll take that. I just want my legacy to live on. I will never visit the kid. The kid will never visit me. I'll never know who they are. He will never know me. I promise.
You're willing to deny your own child the pleasure of knowing who their father is, of knowing their father. It's about the mentality. It's about the character. It's about the integrity that is just not there. So whether she ended up having the baby or not, this is something you said, and this is something you felt. This is something you planned on doing. That speaks to a lack of a moral code, and that's the point. The point is that, well, she didn't have the baby, so...
And mind you, these fuckers didn't talk about it, but they try to act like somehow, some way, it's the fault of everybody else for talking about him. Like, bitch, nigga, you forgot the things you did? You forgot all the little clown jokes and all the videos you made and all that stuff? You think we not gonna kick you when you down? And we not gonna continue to bring this shit up? You're pretty much done. In 2027? The shit's still gonna be brought up. Soon as you bring up some red pill shit, be like, hey, man, at least he ain't getting people pregnant. Talking about he got a low sperm count.
Doesn't matter. No, it does. Because it shows you exactly the type of person Abba is. He couldn't get the woman, so now he's going to punish the child, or was planning on punishing the child.
Okay, so this is something else you're going to learn about me today, which I never thought I'd tell you. But me personally, if I love somebody, like, I will fucking blow through a wall for them, okay? And I don't, if I see my person suffering, I don't know, I see red. It's kind of how I am, okay? If I love somebody, I'm trying. And I won't feel bad for that, because if it's for the right person, I don't think that's a bad thing.
And this is the part that I find extremely sick. This same man talking about how he'll do all this, that, and the third for somebody that he loves. He felt so comfortable saying that he would have nothing to do with his own seed. In my opinion, okay, maybe you guys have a different opinion, but your own children, your own flesh and blood, they are the exact right person that you should go hell or high water for. So the fact that you were willing to leave your seed with a woman that you already know is crazy, right? We've established this, the broad is crazy. You're willing to leave your seed alone with her, all because she doesn't want to date you while giving birth to the child. Selfish. That is extremely selfish. And you don't actually mean these words as you're saying, because if anybody would be the right person to go hell or high water for, to fight for, it would be your child. But what did you ultimately do?
I will never visit the kid. The kid will never visit me. I'll never know who they are. He will never know me. I promise.
You're punishing a child for the actions of the mother. That's why I said this isn't about the child. It's about the woman. Because if his whole shtick was that he really truly wanted to be a father, that this was about having the child and being there for the child, then there wouldn't be any of this, I won't look the child in the face. I'm not going to look the child.
Yeah, mind you, and it's a lot of shit, man. This is funny and this is great right here. Great content.
In the face. And the father, disgusting. And anyone
Seen as appropriate. Like, that's so weird, no?
I find it so funny that you would say all this, Abba, because just 2 years ago, you were engaging in this very same behavior of contacting somebody's ex and then putting their business out there on the street. It's funny to me that you don't understand this because it's happening to you. Now you don't understand it because it's happening to you. Because 2 years ago, this was you.
But I decided that I would interview the woman in question at the heart of this whole thing.
Here you go, platforming somebody that was also not being forthcoming, that was also not being 100% truthful.
But let's be honest. I made Daisy seem a little bit more credible than she actually was. And the truth is, she was lying about a lot of things.
So it's okay when you do it. It's okay when you platform.
Here we go. And I was waiting for a lot of people to say this shit in every video I watched with Abbott and Priest defenders. That's why I went all up and down the list. I'm like, you didn't mention the Daisy situation. You didn't mention him saying these things. You pretend that, oh, it's just content, man. He's just saying shit just to say shit. It's commentary. No, he thinks that he can tell you what to do.
From somebody that's not being honest. But when other people, oh my God, I don't know why.
She did an interview with Stevie Knight. And you know Stevie, ever since I exposed the fact that he didn't get school lunches in the 3rd grade, Stevie, like a good old...
And he's still trying to take shots, right? Instead of him just being humble about it, right? And it's like, yeah, when we find more shit come out, we gonna get you out of here.
Dog saw a bone and he bit. But I decided that I would interview the woman in question at the heart of this whole thing. You know, there's a lot of these red pill weirdos, all the ones who say, don't believe women without the facts. How many of them jumped on it? And I know it's despite me. I ain't even mad at it. Get your money. But what happened to scrutinizing things? Y'all got played too. I made Daisy seem a little bit more credible than she...
There you go. She did it perfectly. She did. She hit all the cues. Oh man, these red pill weirdos. You fucking piece of shit. How many videos you made on red pill? Huh? How many narratives did you spin against red pill?
Yeah, she was. And the truth is, she was lying about a lot of things.
ABBA is a tragic case of rules for thee, not for me. So it's okay for you to platform Daisy so she can lie about Walter. But when Stevie platforms your ex, when other people platform your ex, now it's, oh my God, they played you. I don't know why. You just jumped at it like a dog for a bone. Nigga, you jumped on Daisy like a dog wanting a bone. Same behavior. You engaged in the same behavior. But somehow when other people do it, now it's a problem.
Now we gonna go down the list with the other one. Let me show you that other one real quick, and we gonna go back to seeing what these guys said. But I'm gonna show you a key thing about the person that's coming out about ABBA, something new that nobody's talking about.
Situation, like, fully agree.
I'm not a friend. Problem?
Okay, well,
Dude, I swear to God, I'm going to do this. I'm going to...
So, if you want to go to this video and watch it and do some clips, this is a guy. He's a piece of shit too. But he's trying to get his little channel up and running. He's an anti-red pillar, anti-passport guy. He's in chats trying to think that he knows it all. But this is a key thing that he has, where Destiny talks about when ABBA snaked him. And then we gonna show the Britney shit where she even admitted that, yeah, I hanged out with him one time. And she tried to tell him about Destiny before everything came out, and he pretty much blew her off.
Okay, better for myself, okay? Where, yeah.
Oh.
And he also said that he snaked Destiny because he either slept with Lauren Southern or he was talking to Lauren Southern behind Destiny's back. So he was a snake even to his own friends, but he didn't treat them like friends.
Right, that's some spy shit. She knows what she's doing. Oh God, this fucking woman probably has so much shit on me.
Very, very cute friends, cutesty. Someone from the Reddit thread saved the story and sent it to me.
Off every single person that stood by Destiny after that point. So here was the message I wrote to Tom Foolery as an example of how I communicate with people. I saw Tom do a video stream reacting to my video. I didn't appreciate his takeaway from it. I said, hey, Tom, I saw you react to my latest video on Destiny. I appreciate you giving it a watch. Moving into 2025, I'm narrowing down my work connections and looking to collab with people who share similar views, especially on topics as important as abuse, rape, apology, and misogyny. Based on your review of my video, it seems we are not aligned. I wish you the best, and I hope nothing but happiness for you heading into 2025. I'm a very fucking nice communicator, okay? I almost always send people a letter saying, thank you for our time together. I'd like to move on. Okay, that's basically how I end connections with people. Okay, when I made my video about Destiny, I sent Kyla a message. I sent a bunch of people messages. But actually, fun fact, ABBA reached out to me before I had a chance to reach out to him. And he sent me this video or this message. And we talked for a bit. He sent me a message that, I see I'm in a Brittany Simon video. I said, yes, did you watch it? Like, something very serious is happening. And this is before, you need to hear me. This is before we knew about Destiny recording women and sharing it. So this is Abba and I having a conversation about everything else. Okay, the rape apologia in his videos, making fun of Kelly Jean, who I understand is not a good person. That doesn't make her less of a victim. Destiny, doing what he did to me, all of the other stuff, right? Like all of the issues that were there in that space, okay? So Abba messaged me, and this is the message. He said, I didn't watch most of it. I tried to stay out of y'all's beef, to be honest. And I tried to explain to him, it's not beef. See, the dilemma is everybody keeps calling it beef. I need to set a standard here that the problem with...
See? He even blew them off. He blew it off. He's like, I stay out of the beef. Right? Mind you, he used them because he thought that he was going to get a fan base. Like, look, this is a pattern for ABBA. This is something that Sandra not saying. Nessie Michonne definitely not going to talk about. And the ABBA defenders are not going to talk about this. Right? And the smaller channels are the ones who got the better information. This guy, myself, we have the better information. I already pointed out, nobody pointed out the fact that they lost to Jubilee. No, not one person basically pointed out the fact that, yeah, they did the same shit to Jubilee and lost to them.
YouTube is the same problem with Vance and Trump making fun of Zelensky for not having a suit. It's all the same thing. You keep thinking it's just beef. We're the adults in the room. And I don't know how to tell you all this, but we're going to be 40. Do you want to be Ethan Klein at 40?
No.
We have got to grow up. And I'm working really hard to get rid of my streamer language and to grow up. One of the reasons I don't watch Hassan is he's got too much streamer language, and I'm going to pick it up. Okay? My echolalia just copies everything from accents to the ways people talk. We have got to grow up. And the problem is like, we're not going to do it. Certainly not if the world leaders aren't. But this is all connected. It's high school with money. It's high school with money. And then they have the audacity.
I hate this chick. And mind you, I love girls with curly hair, but she's the only one I hate with curly hair. Well, there's a couple other ones. But her curly hair would be just, it automatically disqualify. I'm like, oh, you're disgusting. Get out my face. Mind you, this chick did OnlyFans. She got her news everywhere. And she cared about money. I mean, a few years ago, if you go back, she was a totally different person. Mind you, she has videos of talking about how she went through 60 different therapists. But this is about Abba. This ain't about her.
To try to throw around like, these people are crazy, these people are crazy. You're crazy. You're hanging out with us. Okay?
There we go. These people are crazy, but you hanging out with us. Damn, she breaking it down. I showed you the video. It was her. It was Abba, Destiny, and her.
I always wondered why Abba liked me or Destiny since we're so neurodivergent. Come to find out, Abba's ADHD. Of course he is. Of course he is. Do you know what I mean? So I sent him this message. I said, I'm running an event right now on Discord, so I'm not sure. I can send you a voice note, so I'll type. I'm not sure if you're saying that you don't know the full context and aren't interested in knowing ? Or if you know the full context but don't care. This isn't beef. This is a moral issue and abuse is occurring. I'm not saying that Steven can't ever get better or change. I'm saying I won't do the work for him and no one else should. I'm reading really small text on my screen right now, so hold on. You guys are seeing it right though, right? Hold on. You guys are seeing this, right?
Channel content. Got to make this educational. I mess up names, so I apologize. To him, in his mind, that's not getting my pregnant. And they go like, hey, I'm a full-time content creator.
Refuse to stand with Destiny. We'll talk about that, okay? This is all connected, girls. It's all connected.
All right, while we get to that one, I want to share this real quick because I just thought about it. Now
I can't find that live stream. She must be live streaming on another site because I couldn't find that live stream. So pretty much she was talking about how she pretty much told Abba about the whole thing about Destiny and he didn't care. And basically she breaks it down saying, we're not friends. We ain't friends. We were never friends. We were just a business associate. We just did business together. We hanged out together. But, Abba... Damn, man.
I know everybody's not a fan of Pearl. Reacting to the recording.
I was watching just Pearly things for a while, right? A little bit less now, but back then more when she was doing reactions. That's what she did. Red pill reactions.
Sure.
Similar to, the plethora of other channels who react to Abba and Preach that don't get copyright strikes. Let's give an example. D. Chanel, who will react to an entire video from Abba and Preach.
Like that. And I'll be honest with you, since the first day I heard that stuff, I never believed it. I did. You did?
Because it depends on what they mean by that. Because I think that you guys are saying you want to mean the same thing, but you're saying differently, but it doesn't sound. The marketing is off of what they say. Okay? What I mean by that is, you don't think they do this for themselves. You think they're doing it for others. And what they say is, I'm doing this just for me, for my insecurities. But your insecurities are stemmed and are rooted into what other people are thinking. And the reflection of what you think you're doing this for others.
Okay, for the slow people in the back, the point he's trying to make is when you're reacting to somebody's channel, she's not reacting to the channel. She's just sitting there, just let it play and just, pretty much the same thing Pearl was doing years ago to their channel, and then they waited years ago to see it, and then they did a copyright strike on multiple of her channels.
Yep. That's something that nobody's talking about either, is how they are they biggest hypocrites. This ain't just about the girl situation. This is a culmination of shit built up over the past couple of years of the shit that they got away with. It's a lot of shit they did that people ignored.
So, does that seem fair? I don't know. You let me know, but that's the point he's trying to make.
With a lot of sex. That's what it is.
Now, when they took that conversation and LT on his end, the chat brought it up and said, hey, well, she brought it up along with the chat. Hey, LT, well, they clipped you and said XYZ. And his response to that was, hey, there's no context given and it doesn't change the fact. You can clip all day. It doesn't change the fact is, hey, y'all was in a relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, long distance. Yep. If you right there.
Share photos of my partner. Like, we don't have that kind of relationship. But ABBA and
Wiseman said, I got NFI who is being discussed or for what reason. My apologies, I'm not the one for chit-chat about others unless it's directly to my face.
And a lot of these people really are nonchalant about this, but when a lot of them was a part of the first situation, it was all news. Now, I always, in the comment section, you saw how I handle some of these people. I'm like, do you listen to gossip? That's about people's personal life. If you didn't give a fuck about people's personal life, you wouldn't be listening to people's gossip. It's just who you don't like. If Trump had some kind of gossip going on, which he did like 5-7 years ago with that porn star, the corn star, y'all was caring all about it. Y'all was trying to find out the Epstein files. Remember that?
I'm out. Exactly. See ya. That's it. That's it. But we're not going to derail about this abuse. We're not going to derail about this abuse, though. So let's continue to learn something. Let's continue to learn.
I think abuse is abuse. And Brittany said, I think abuse is abuse no matter who you're abusing. I also consider what he did to me abusive, even just as a coworker. I never lied about him. I tried my best to stick up to my values, and he retaliated without hesitation and painted me without mercy as somebody that I wasn't. I understand that I might not be something that's important to you, or that I understand that might not be something that's important to you. And I think that's actually fair as we aren't close. And then I said, hold on, girlies. Boomer Brittany moving very slowly through these receipts. Then I said, boom. Then I said, give me a second. Moving forward, I wish you health and happiness. Thank you for every positive moment together. I'll remember our moments fondly. Boom. Okay, that's the end, right? So then that was it. Okay, that was the end of ABBA and I connecting. Okay, that's how I handle conflict to the best of my ability. I'm not always perfect, but that's like I think that was a pretty good way to handle the situation. Okay? Okay, so remember, I think we're all high schoolers with money and status, and that's the important part here, because it was such a disappointment to see, right? ABBA's reaction to when the allegations actually came out against Destiny. Because in ABBA's video about Destiny's allegations and him burning the bridge with Destiny, it wasn't because he was a predator. It was because he was bad for ABBA's brand.
That part.
There we go. Even the people close to him knew exactly who ABBA was. They just didn't come out with any videos because a lot of them are just like him. They just wanted it. Britney came out with a video. I remember when she just was like, I don't like Destiny anymore, even though she was an order. And basically, ABBA was like, oh, I gotta get rid of this guy. He snaked Stevie because he wanted to get points about black people. He wanted black points.
That was the disappointment part. So let's talk about that. Remember, I'm not friends with these people. Like, I need you to understand, we're not friends. ABBA and Kyla are friends with Destiny. I am not a friend. Nobody established a real friendship with me. They established a cordial YouTube friendship with me. We don't talk to each other. They don't learn about my family. I don't share photos of my partner. Like, we don't have that kind of relationship. But ABBA and Kyla were doing that. Chet says, I keep thinking you were close to them. Maybe that's why it felt abrupt. That's the problem. That's the illusion I am trying to get you guys to understand. The illusion is that we're close. We're not close. That's why I'm annoyed with these people on the internet, because the audience thinks we're close. They play it like we're close. I'm sorry. You don't even know me. Maybe you guys are close to each other, but y'all ain't close to me. And you keep dragging me into your beef like we're close. And then when I call it the abuse, you're like, I can't believe my friend did this to me. We're not close. Kyla and I, we tried. We couldn't get there. I just couldn't trust Kyla. She was too defensive of Destiny. You know? Like, I couldn't get there. Kidology, we never got close. I never got close to these people. We did not talk, guys. We were not shooting the beef. Now, some YouTubers, I do have a couple of YouTubers, actually just one right now, that we actually do, like, chat. We talk on a pretty...
Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Sound familiar? I'm saying, man.
Okay, frequent basis. And we're attempting to have a very good friendship. And I hope it goes well, right? But most people, nah, I'm not friends with these people. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to make you understand. And this is what's happening. That's why when Trump goes, Elon and I, we were friends. Elon and I, we were like so close. No, they're not. You know? No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. This whole thing is absolutely what's happening globally. It's happening in your family's relationship.
So, there we go. That's the shit that all of these defenders, they're not talking about. This is a culmination of like, this is culmination of like, about 7 years or 8 years of shit that these dudes did. But their peak was the pandemic.